Well, everybody, welcome back to the shop and eventually to the backyard. We got our bees. Got 2 packages. As you see, they're in good shape. There's hardly any dead ones on the bottom. I'm going to get my stuff ready and let's install them in the hives. Okay, so I'm all set up out here where they're going to be going. Chose this spot because it's the backyard, kind of out of the way of things, out of the way of activity. It's in my soon-to-be orchard, so I'm not going to be driving tractors or anything through here. And it gets plenty of sun here. I got some fruit trees for them to get nectar from. I planted wildflower seeds here. That'll be a good source for them. And then there's just plenty of woods back there. There's water back there. There's more fruit trees over there. And I got that convenient tree stump there to hold tools and such. And I got a toolbox that I filled with all my necessary bee stuff. Smoker fuel, rubber bands for the queen cage, marshmallow for the queen cage, some tape, these little plugs I'll get to, some sugar syrup in a spray bottle, gloves, feeder, hat, or veil rather, a bee brush, and some beetle traps. And I'm sure and hive tools too, of course. I'm sure I'll edit this and add on to it as time goes. Then the hives, what I have here is just currently just a single deep super. But what I have on top is these. I made these for the winter. They're called quilt boxes. You can fill them with old burlap or sawdust or something for insulation. But it's going to work well as a feeder cover because these are hive top feeders. So they're going to sit right in here over the hole. And you need to cover them with something. You can use a medium or a shallow super, but even though I have some, they're currently holding all my extra frames. So I'm just going to use this. And then there's ventilation holes, which I'm just going to plug up with those wooden plugs. I used a hole saw to cut these, and I saved the little hole saw holes, and I'm just going to stuff them back in there. So that's that. The inner cover. Oh, this reminds me, I forgot something. Next thing I have is this little spacer feeder shim. I'm going to be putting pollen patties on here, and this one I don't know, the pollen patties are pretty thin. I might actually not even use this, but I was going to use this just to give a little space so the patties aren't touching this inner cover. But I'll see how thick the patties are when I bring them back out. And then the hive, you guys, the 10 frame deep. These have foundation on them, waxed plastic foundation. And in front, this is a screened bottom board. The bottom board slides out to give ventilation or to cut it off. Have an entrance reducer, reduced down to the small hole, and also there's a little mouse guard here, which is obviously in the up position currently. Alright, so I don't think I'll need the smoker, but I'm going to light it anyway. So I got some dry grass as fuel. Start off with a piece of newspaper. Whoops, oh well. Now, if you don't know from watching my other videos on this topic, I'm no expert, I'm beginning. So we're all learning together here. So if I'm doing something wrong or something like that, let me know. should have done this downwind. I guess I'm kind of downwind of the bees. Alright, well, this morning with coffee I brushed up on what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. So let's see how much I remember. So again, this is a 10 frame hive. Take out the middle few, leave 2 on each side. And also I got the pollen patties. They're ready to go. Take the first package. We're going to pry off the top. There should be that feeder can in there. And when you pry off the top, that's going to expose the bee hole, so you want to be careful not to let them out. Oh, and my viewers can take bets. Will I get stung? Oh, there, one's already out. Shoot, go in there. There you go. Okay, well, there's just a few. Oh, I also have a bee brush. That'll be a good opportunity to use that, just to get these few in there. This little thing here, I imagine, is the queen cage. So carefully take that out. It's weird, I can feel the resistance of the bees attached to it. Oh boy, I got my first bee flying around me. There's the queen. However disconcerting, you're supposed to put this in your pocket so she stays warm. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, I just noticed there's a hole in my shirt. Hopefully the bees don't find that. Well prepared. So yeah, after having spent my whole life running away from bees, it's definitely unusual. So I'll pry the feeder can out. Somehow. I'll reuse that, of course. And there they go. They want out. Alright, so you're supposed to give it a tap to get them all off the top. And dump them in. This is unusual. Spend your whole life swatting at insects. Now there's a bunch of bees flying around your head. So we'll leave this right here by the entrance. I'm going to put a few frames in. Now I'm going to get a rubber band, put that around a frame. Get the queen bee. Let's see, now this actually looks like it has a candy end. I was going to pry the cork out and put the marshmallow there, so I'm going to pry this off and see if that's actually candy, and the bees will chew through that on their own. Yep, that looks like a candy end, so I'm just going to put it in there. Put the queen cage off to one side. So if your feeder leaks, it doesn't drown her. I'll just space all these out. Put my spacer on. Try not to crush anybody. Pollen patties. They're separated by wax paper, but it doesn't seem to do a whole lot. Score the paper a few times. Luckily I blindly grabbed 4, which is just what I need. Now I'll put on my inner cover. I can't remember at the moment if this gap is supposed to be on the top or bottom. I'm going to put it on the bottom. So I got this sort of feeder. I forget exactly what it's called, but I really like it. I like the concept anyway. See what it is? It is just a, you know, a little shallow bucket thing with a hole in the middle. Place it over there. You fill this with syrup, and you put this over there, so the bees can climb up through the hole and down, access the syrup, but they can't fly out. And then you put the lid on, and nothing else can come in and rob. Where's, oh, my syrup's over here. I'm going to put about half in there. Always make more. And I'm going to dribble some down in there so they know to come up. The other nice thing about this feeder is that you don't have to open up the hive to feed them. Oh, we already got one casualty. There we go. That cover on so they don't drown in there. Put on this. Again, it could be just a regular super. You know, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to take out the entrance reducer for the moment. Just so, since they're still getting their bearings, they can easily come and go and all of that. Oh, and so the one thing I forgot to do is spray the package with sugar water before opening them up. But I have given them a couple spritzes anyway. Previously, so I think it'll be all right. So I'm going to let them settle down a bit before I do the other one, just so things don't get too jumbled. And we'll meet you back here. Here's the last part that I forgot to show you. These are the little holes that I got from drilling the holes. I just put a screw in there, and they actually fit pretty well. So I'm just going to plug up all of these ventilation holes like that. And I've been watching them. They're still getting their bearings. Pretty much everybody is out of here. I'm not seeing anybody, I can't think of the term, waving their wings, the Nasanov pheromone. You know, they're still just figuring everything out. So we got a few of the ladies doing some fanning. That's good. That means they've figured out that this is home. Well, I'm pretty confident that everything went as planned and as it should have. The very last thing I did is I put some weight on top of the hive to keep it all together. I've had these set up about a week ahead of time. We've had some real heavy winds the past few days and they didn't blow apart, but I just put these on there anyway. Both of them are these really cool giant quartz rocks that I found around the property. So maybe the quartz will help ward off the 5G and keep the bees happy and healthy. But I'm just going to let them hang out for a while, and I'll come back in an hour or two or three and see what they're up to. So things have calmed down quite a bit, especially on the first hive here. I installed the entrance reducer for the moment to help keep them in there and help them figure out that's home. I did that on both of them. Now the last thing I'm going to do is get myself a notebook. You know, give each one of these hives a name. I think this will be the west hive and that'll be the east hive. And just take note of when I put them in there and anything I noticed. And make a note of the date, of course. Stuff that's in bloom. Not much is in bloom right now. Some of these fruit trees are starting to leaf out. And there's some undergrowth sort of stuff. I don't know what it is. That's starting to flower a little bit. And the forsythia and maple trees are flowering, blossoming. So I'll make note of that, and I'll keep an eye on them. In a few days I'll pop the top cover off and most likely replenish their pollen patties and sugar syrup. So that's it for this video, long video. Thanks for watching, everybody. And oh yeah, and I'm just leaving these package boxes out for the day and let them all come out and do their thing. And I'll pick them up tomorrow or something, and they'll be empty. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with this project and many others. Thanks for watching, everybody. Come on back for more.